ran that race and had a flat with about 20 to go. So, and then this week we finally got the monkey off her back and got a win.
There we go. Definitely, Greenville Tire Management is, for folks that don't know Greenville, just to describe it to you briefly, it's wore out like a Darlington used to be. I guess the best track we run right now to compare it to would probably be like a California. From a grip standpoint level, you fall off, second and a half throughout the course of a race there, if not further. And there's a wall on the inside and a wall on the outside. The wall on the inside is where you put your left front tire. I managed to somehow, I've only run there like 2 or 3 times in my career, and I have bounced off every wall they've got there in some capacity. I've gone into the corner and thought I was doing a good job and hit the inside wall, making a normal corner. And it's been like, wow, that's a first. I'm going to have left side damage after this race. So it's a challenging racetrack, definitely, and it's very flat. But Hickory for you guys has been a strong racetrack. You've gone up there and really taken to that place and had a lot of solid performances there. So it's good to get that first win of the year under your belt, and when I think got quite a few coming up here at that track in the near future, right?
Our plan originally is we're going to probably compete. They have a Paramount Kia Challenge there, which is 10 races that pay a little bit more and are more laps. Usually have better car counts and stuff, so we're probably going to hit those 10 races. They have a separate point system. Last year I won the track championship and that challenge series. So this year we're probably going to run that challenge series and then travel to some different tracks outside of that. We're going to South Boston here in a couple weeks. I've ran there once last year, so we're going to go run there a couple times, start out just hitting up some different tracks, and just mainly our goal is to just kind of, just further our program by running these different tracks and also get William some more experience on some different places and stuff that he might see further along in his career.
I think, to me, that's the beauty of the late model stuff is you can run the home track and say, okay, this is where we're going to run for points, and we're going to try and gather as many points at this track as we can. But most of those tracks don't run every weekend. They take a weekend off, in between those weekends, and you guys can travel to wherever you want to locally. There's, probably 15 late model tracks in this area that you guys can go and race at and see different places.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and it brings a lot to your program racing like that, because if you run Hickory every week, you kind of get in your routine of doing that. You go to a different track, and even in a situation, we went to different tracks and got beat up a little bit by their locals, and it makes you step up your game, and so it's fun to do that. It's fun to see where you stack up against other people, because every track has their local heroes. They're people that race there every week, so when you can go race with them and compete with those guys that race there every week, it shows a lot for your program.
Well, that's awesome. And just to give the listeners a little more of a background on you, you don't only just drive them, you work on them. You work on both the late models. You get them ready to go to the track each weekend. I think it's you and, 2 other guys in the shop over there that are helping you out. So Josh knows the ins and outs of these race cars. As everybody listens to us probably knows, he drove a couple, at the time, nationwide races, now Xfinity Series races for us last year, and did a phenomenal job in both of them. I think the first one was Iowa. You finished 12th at Iowa. The second one was Homestead, and you'd never been on a track at the time bigger than a mile.
Bigger than Iowa.
Or bigger than 7/8 of a mile. So he went down to Homestead and right away in practice was up against the wall, going fast, got his stripe early on in practice, and all night long you ran solid, ran top 15 basically the entire race, and I know something happen towards the end a little bit. Right towards the end, but up until that point was in position to really make some guys that had done this a lot longer than him look pretty bad. So we all think pretty highly of Josh, and
we were pulling for him, definitely.
The challenge of that versus what you look back on it now, and I wish I could do it. Run that whole, especially Homestead. Iowa, we just struggled on pit road. I struggled on pit road, and we.
Well, you'd never made a pit stop before,
I'd never
so that's
made a pit stop
understandable.
before the first time.
That'd be like Heath coming in and trying to make a pit stop.
That'd be bad.
Yeah,
at least you got out of the box. Heath would have hopped it up and down like a 15-year-old.
I would have stalled it. Yeah, I would have stalled it.
By the second time, you get on pit road and you think, oh man, this is easy. You're just after doing it once. So having done that once, and then in the race, it takes so long to figure out what you need. You never run that big of a track. You don't know how the car needs to handle in practice. You don't get enough tires. You're just kind of out to lunch, and then you get in the race and you say, okay, this is what we need to do with about 20 to go. And then you start making progress, but then you've already...
Then all of a sudden it's done, and you're like, wow, I want to run another 100 laps here.
Yeah, I'll say when I left that race, I I wanted them to pull out the fenders and let's go another 200.
Listen, I think we'd all be fine with that. I'm a big fan of the longer races. I know sometimes they get. Oh, I say that, and I was sitting in the car in Martinsville this weekend bitching about 500 laps, saying, "Why is this thing 500 laps? We keep wrecking every 10 laps."
See, he can't go a whole race without bitching.
Yeah,
he admits it.
I did not cuss once on the radio this weekend. I was good.
But just to give everyone a background on Josh. Josh, you've been with Junior Motorsports for 6 years now?
Yeah, this would be the 6th year.
So everyone in the company was very proud and excited to see Josh run those nationwide races last year because we know how much time he's put in and the hard work that he's done for the late model program. And actually your win at Hickory last weekend was your 16th career victory, all with Junior Motorsports. Mm-hmm. So I guess our question to you is, how many more wins do you have to get before you can afford a ring for your girlfriend?
Oh gosh.
Oh. Oh, I hope she listens to this now.
I told him it was coming. I told him we might have some stuff. I hear that's a big topic of conversation among your buddies.
Yeah, between everyone.
Before you answer that, I ate Cracker Jack boxes for 7 years till I finally got the one that had a ring in there. So you got time.
Okay.
You're good.
Oh man, I don't know. I guess
TBD.
I don't know. I have to keep winning a lot. I guess I don't know. Luckily, she's in school, so I got like another year to worry about that.
Like high school?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say,
she's legal.
Middle
hold
school.
on.
No.
Okay, yeah. Next week on JRM Up Front, we go to the Iredell County Jail and pick up Josh Berry.
Yeah, on-site interview.
Yeah.
No, but we're just giving Josh a hard time. But you take us. I want everyone to hear a little bit about your relationship with Dale Jr. because I know aside from your dad, Dale Jr. is probably your biggest fan. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your relationship with Dale, how that started, and how that brought you here.
Yeah, it was actually. I mean, it's so crazy to sit here and talk about it that I raced iRacing, for a good bit. Probably I started in like 07, 08, that range, and raced a lot on there, different series, the top series they had on there, and I built a relationship with him, and we became friends, and I never would have thought anything would have come of it. And then, really, I mean, we were talking one day, and he's like, hey, I got late models, why don't you come test one? And I'm like, really? It's, you think racing, it's so hard to get these opportunities, mm-hmm. and then you have something like that just come that easy, and you're like, holy cow. So it was true. I come over here and met with him, and then ended up testing and tested good and raced good, and then got a full-time ride and, moved over here and started working, and that was a key part of it. The work thing that you touched on earlier mm-hmm. was really, I feel like that's what's kept me, relevant around here, is just working hard at it and really furthering the program, which is what I've tried to do. I mean, I'm really trying to, improve our program and make the late model team a lot better than it was when I started.
And they've been great.
I think clearly that's happened, and longtime sponsor now, Speedco, coming back for the third year with Speedco?
Fourth year.
On the race car, so fourth year, so obviously
Can't
Speedco's been very happy.
Yeah, no, they've been great to me and supporting me, and they were really, I mean, they've been involved with us technically for 5 years because they sponsored LW's Modified a year before that, so then that kind of how it all tied in together. So they've been great to me and supporting me, and really I wouldn't be racing without them.
Well, that's awesome.
And here's another interesting factoid about Josh. I love factoids. Josh,
you got a lot of factoids today.
I do all the writing around here. I know a lot of stats.
That's a valid point.
Josh is the only junior motorsports driver to win multiple championships.
There we go. And you did bring Junior Motorsports their first championship with the late models as well.
And what do you get when you win 2 championships? Your own trading card. Look at that. A Josh Berry trading card. Yeah. That's a sample.
That's a
very rare. Now, I know you signed some of these before, but these were hanging around the office. And
he's getting ready to open up, too.
I don't know.
Heath had his break the seal.
I mean, Heath had a wrapped-up package. He was saving those. That was going to be his retirement.
I guess we won't open
it. It says here that you are one of Stock Car Racing's hottest young prospects. Josh
you might have wrote that.
Oh, I don't think I did. I wouldn't give you that much credit.
Hottest.
Oh. Well, that's wonderful.
Those are for you, Josh. You can take those home. I think Regan might want one signed,
I looked up on eBay one time. People actually sell these. Can you believe that? I mean, no one buys them, I'm sure, but people put. I mean, like
it's a little trading card.
I know they put it on there, put it on sale for eBay.
I'm willing to bet somebody has bought one.
Yeah, maybe.
So your signature is worth
family or friends or something.
I was gonna say I got a big family in New York. Surely somebody has bought something like that at some point or another.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know what? No one's ever bought anything of me on eBay, so you're one step ahead of me.
Yeah.
I've sold stuff on eBay. That's about it.
What have you sold on eBay?
Don't you worry about it.
Maybe
some Regan Smith diecast.
Yeah.
Ooh. Put that money in my pocket.
That explains where they're going.
It wasn't a lot of money though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that extra 10 cents can go a long ways.
Well, we appreciate Josh coming in. I know he's busy. He's got some late model wrenches to turn here, so we appreciate him taking
He's
some
ready.
time out.
He's ready to go racing again. I think
Off this weekend.
off this weekend. Okay, but then
Head to South Boston.
Yeah,
after
so
that,
he's getting cars ready, rocking and rolling. No damage from last weekend, right? So
No,
at least
no
we don't
damage.
have to fix
It was-
damage or anything.
That's the good part about it when you.
The best thing about working on the stuff that you drive is you learn how much of a pain in the butt it is when you
Fix
wreck
it.
it. So you try not to wreck it.
Yeah.
You try to keep it clean. And,
You gotta
and you're a lot more
definitely-
emotionally invested in it.
Definitely
at that
pick
point.
your battles for sure. You gotta
Wow.
watch. You can't do. I mean, sometimes you gotta run into some people. Short track racing.
Got to do what you
Kind of
gotta
like
do.
we were talking about.
That's
with
right,
Cole
that's right.
and me. Sometimes you gotta do it, but there's a lot of situations that you can keep yourself out of tearing stuff up.
Well, we definitely appreciate Josh coming in and taking the time to come talk with us. And we'll be keeping an eye on the late models. I'm sure we'll have to have him on a couple more times this year as
More
he
wins.
continues winning
right.
races and running up front. And we'll get to the end of the season here and get you another championship.
Hopefully. Thank you guys.
All right. Joining us now by phone. We've got the technology in the studio to do this, which is pretty impressive to me, and we know how to work it too, which is even more impressive. Is Cole Custer. Cole, as we know, took the Junior Motorsports truck to a solid performance last Saturday. Had a great shot at winning that race, and I know didn't play out quite like you wanted to at the end, but you came from the back to the front 2 separate times, got all the way back to the front. And